Welcome to Knife Chats. If you like this video, please take a moment to leave a comment. Thank you. Throughout the history of the official Cub Scout knife, one thing pretty much remained consistent, and that is the knife had a Delrin or a hard plastic handle throughout its life, right up until it started being made in China when it first showed up with a blue bone handle. Before then, at the very beginning, it had a black handle made of a Delrin or some kind of hard plastic, and then over time it would end up with a blue handle. For a very short period of time there was the ivory colored handle, and then eventually you also had the handle without a bolster. But in every case these knives had a plastic handle, with the exception of one issue of official Cub Scout knives made in the United States, and that was in celebration of the 75th anniversary of the Cub Scouts of America in 2005. In 2005, Camillus, the maker of the official Cub Scout knife, decided it would do something different, and so they issued two different commemorative knives for the 75th anniversary of the Cub Scouts of America. First, we'll look at the utility knife for the 75th anniversary, and as you can tell, the primary difference between it is the logo on the handle. On the left is your typical Cub Scouts logo for around that time, and then on the other side is the official 75th anniversary logo used by the Cub Scouts. The handle is still just the same old plastic handle, and then it has a different blade edge. I'm not sure how well it's going to show. I might need to show an inset of it, but it has the Diamond Jubilee 75th there, and then it says Cub Scouts 75th anniversary on either side of the blade. So that's the main difference. And from the here you see the tank stamp for it. So this is the one that Camillus was using in 2005, which makes sense because this knife came out in 2005. Now this 75th anniversary knife was sold in clam packaging, so it was the least expensive of the 75th anniversary commemorative knives for the official Cub Scout knives. Now let's look at the other one that came out. Unlike the utility knife, the camping knife came in this wonderful little gift box, and it has a 75th logo on the top, and then descriptions of the knife and some information on the back here about official scouting, hiking, and camping. I'll give you an inset of what the various things on the box show. And then on the inside of the box, nice little red liner, 75th anniversary Cub Scout knife. I've removed the knife, I have it somewhere else, and we'll take a look at the knife now. Now, as I mentioned, the big departure here is this knife has a dark blue bone handle instead of a jig Delrin handle. You have brass pins and brass liners, stainless steel back springs, and let's see if we can see the edge on here. You have that blade edge we were talking about earlier, Cub Scouts 75th anniversary, and then the 75th logo. You have the 75th logo in Cub Scout blue trimmed with Cub Scout yellow and then trimmed with blue, and then it has a clear enamel coating over it. Wonderful nickel silver bolsters. It just flows from side to side. You've got your bail or shackle, whichever one you want to call it, and then the typical punch blade that they were using at the time, along with the long screwdriver cap lifter. So no changes in any of the tools. The only real difference is you have a blue bone handle and then special etches on the blades. So Really terrific little knife, and something you don't run across too often. They were only made in the year 2005, the 75th anniversary of the Cub Scouts. So this is one of the more difficult Cub Scout knives that show up in the collector's market out there. And they really were made for collecting. So it was a departure at the time for them to go to a blue bone over the what was being used at the time, the blue Delrin, and you can see the difference between the two. But really a cool knife, and if you're a Cub Scout fan, you probably are somebody who would like to get a hold of one of those 75th anniversary knives. Other things that came out with at the time were special patches and all sorts of other things celebrating the Diamond Jubilee of the Cub Scouts. But the official Cub Scout knife is probably the coolest thing for that time. And you know, the knife had changed very little over time, so it was hard to go back and say, let's copy the original Cub Scout knife and bring it out as a special edition. So what they did instead is they stepped up their game, and I think Camillus did a great job with their 75th anniversary official Cub Scout knife with the special shields and the special blade edges and such. In any case, I thought I'd show it to you, and hope you enjoyed looking at it. This one, as well as the lesser one, the utility knife. So you've got the official 75th anniversary camp knife on top, and the official 75th anniversary utility knife on the bottom. I hope you enjoyed this video on the 75th anniversary official Cub Scout knife. If you did, you may want to check out my other videos on official Cub Scout knives, which is in a playlist linked below. I also have a playlist devoted to just Scout knives in general. You may want to check those out also. And as always, love to hear your comments on this video and any of my other videos. And if you're enjoying what you're seeing here, why don't you go ahead and subscribe to my channel and go tell a few friends about it too. Thank you so much for joining us. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Knife Chats, and if you did, please like and share it with your friends. Comments are always welcome. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that notification bell so you'll know when the next episode of Knife Chats is up online. Thanks again. Hope to see you soon.